Welcome to TruthStream. This is another episode of HealthStream with Maria Scodari, who is in the state of New Jersey. And we have a lot of great, exciting news that she's going to be sharing with us, and also something that she's doing for the people in the area come mid-February. So, Maria, without further ado, welcome to TruthStream.
Hi, thanks for having me. Welcome. Hi to all the audience out there.
Absolutely. So, part of the allure of having her on the show, there's a few reasons. One is she's a Paisan, she's Italian. Two, she is all about health, wellness, the great awakening, and she is in New Jersey. Now, my mom is from the Ventnor, Atlantic City area of New Jersey, and I have relatives out there, and I'm dedicating this show to my relatives, and that it's the Wimberg family. There's the George H. Wimberg Funeral Home that's in the Ventnor City area. So anyway, I just thought, what a beautiful way to help them understand what's going on in the Great Awakening. I don't think they're privy to a lot of this information. So I'm just excited to have you here, and tell us a little bit about your background, and we'll go from there like we always do.
Okay, sounds good. So, born and raised here in New Jersey. My life career-wise, I owned a counseling center for about 32 years. I was a psychotherapist by profession. Kind of always been like in the healing field, like even as a child, I wanted to help, you know. Owned the counseling center for, like I said, about 32 years. I also did something called Seimei, which is a long distance kind of spiritual healing technique, similar to Reiki, only a little more powerful than Reiki. So I did that I've been doing that for about 15, 20 years already. And then when I couldn't take owning a business anymore, I retired in June of 2021. Technically, by the time I got out, it was like August. And then was enjoying my retirement, spending a lot of time with my little great nieces and nephews. And then around March of 2022, I was reading this book called The Life and the Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. And maybe you could put that in the links below.
We will.
For the audience. And so I had always struggled with my spiritual walk. I'd always struggled with God. How could God put us here on this earth, create us to suffer like this? Like, that didn't make sense to me, because God is love. So that didn't make any sense to me. And then when I read this book, it was like I had my own spiritual awakening. I had already started to wake up to what was going on in the world a couple years prior, like many. I started to wake up during the beginning of COVID. But this was like this spiritual awakening. In the book, they speak about the Tibetan monks. And so these women and men live to be like 400 years old, 1,000 years old. They look like they're 20. They're beautiful. They're young. They're fit. They can walk on water, they can manifest food, they can go from one location to another location. And there's a story of this man who went to stay with the Tibetan monks, and he experienced all these things that they were doing. And this huge light bulb went off in my head, and I said, that's who we are. So we're not supposed to be these sick, depressed, struggling financially, struggling emotionally, struggling mentally, struggling with health issues. That is not who we are. Who we are is an extension of God, right? A ray of light, a ray of love. But that's been stolen from us. The awareness. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we had a lot of help by the not so nice powers that be, but we also fell away and we forgot who we are. So for me, that was the beginning of the real awakening for me. You know, it wasn't enough for me to just wake up to see what was going on in the world. I needed to wake up to know what we were capable of, who we are supposed to be, and what a lot of truthers are talking about, like the golden age to come, or people that follow the Bible say that the book of Revelations, we're going to have 1,000 years of, pure love. So that's who we are. That's where I believe we're heading. So after I read that book, I asked for a teacher, and I found Saint Germain. And that's just it's just a spiritual practice. It's not, any great religion or anything like that, but that further teaches you who you are as a spirit of God and to claim that. Okay. So then I watched this video. Now my life has changed spiritually. And I watched this video with Jason Shirka and Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. I'm sitting in the waiting room of a medical office of all places, and I'm watching this video, and I contact Jason by email, and I say, I'm watching your video. This is phenomenal. I might want to open up a center. The man gets back to me within 5 minutes, emails me, and then calls me. So we have this conversation, and the rest was history. So here I am in retirement, not wanting to leave retirement. Owning a business is not an easy task. And the one that I owned was particularly difficult. So I had too many employees, and I was dealing with medical insurance companies. So this business is much, much easier than the one that I owned. So didn't want to come out of retirement, wanted to just enjoy the rest of my life, but I really felt God pulling me to do this. So I said, okay, I'll finance it for my sister. That wasn't the way I was supposed to go. I knew I couldn't do that. So I decided to open up a center. I got the EE system ordered. Enhanced Energy System is what it stands for, and I'll speak about that in a bit. And then I asked for a name. And I opened up one of my spiritual books, and I saw Boundless Love and Light. So the name of my center is Boundless Love and Light Healing. And this is a healing center. We're using, for people who don't know, you might want to put in the links also the Jason Shirka Revolution of Healing video.
Yep.
That will educate you on what this is. The layman's terminology for it is, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to just show you the room. Okay. There's 24 units in this room. So let's see if I can do this. All right. We're in the front of the room. And you tell me if I'm doing this okay.
You're fine.
That's one pillar. You can't see all the lights on that for some reason at that angle. You can't see all the lights, but there's 6 pillars. And then there you go. All of the pillars look like that. Excuse me. There's 4 pillars of 6 monitors. They all look like that. And then the back of the room. And there's the 3rd column. And there is the 4th column. And what we have in here is 0 gravity chairs.
Okay.
They are very comfortable chairs. You can just lay back in and relax. Gets kind of chilly in the room because your body comes to such a state of relaxation and peace that your body temperature lowers. So people bring their blankets. We keep the heat up pretty good. Okay, a little bit about the technology. So this is scalar wave energy. It's 5th dimensional energy. And I'm going to read you a little quote real quick. According to scientists and physicists, scalar energy comes from the field beyond the universe. It is energy that is harnessed from the stars of the universe and the sun in our solar system. It's 5th dimensional energy. Now we live in a 3rd dimensional world in 3rd dimensional bodies. So we're all made up of energy, right? So this is 3rd dimensional energy. The 5th dimensional energy is obviously a higher spiritual energy. And we know that the dimensions go higher, and the higher the dimension, the higher the level of spiritual awareness, the higher the level of spiritual beings. And I believe when we get to like the 10th level, we're not physical bodies. We're ethereal. So we're feeding our bodies while you're in here. you're coming in, you're relaxing, your bodies are being fed this higher spiritual energy, the fifth dimensional energy. It feeds your body, and then your body heals itself. So see, now it has the food and the energy it needs, that higher frequency. We're sick when we're in low frequencies. If you ever notice, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of David Hawkins. David Hawkins is he was basically an enlightened human being. And he talks about the different frequencies from like 0 to 1,000, like Jesus Christ was 1,000. And, at the lowest levels, of course, we've got the severe depression and the anxiety and the physical illness and all that. So the lower our frequency, the more we tend to get sick. Now, we've had a lot of help from the, evil powers that be to lower our frequency with all of the crap in our food, the crap in our air, the lies that we've been taught from generation after generation after generation, and everything you can imagine, the drugs that we're putting in our bodies, all of these things, as well as the physical illnesses that they've given us. There was no cancer 100 years ago. Did you know that? There was no cancer 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the dentists had the highest suicidal rate because they were using mercury fillings?
Yes.
And the Mad Hatter had mercury in the hat. So all of this was by design. So they've helped lower our frequency. Now we're here. We spend as much time as we can in the fifth dimensional healing energy of the system, the EE system, and our bodies can start to heal themselves. The more chronic your illness, the more serious your illness, probably the more you want to be here. I was watching Ileana the Star Traveler recently. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. She had Ismael Perez on. Now, Ismael Perez, in my opinion, is pretty strong spiritually. He knows things in the universe that you and I may not know. And he said, in the fifth dimension, this was the most profound thing I heard since I opened the center. In the fifth dimension, we're in perfect health. Our bodies are in perfect health. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to live in this fifth dimensional energy, right?
Sure.
Because I've always had health issues. And over the years, I've worked on myself in every way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. That's kind of been my whole life, is like trying to grow and evolve. So I've come a long way, but I still have some issues. I still have some, 33 years of like thyroid issues and, some of the symptoms that go with that. The other thing this does, it doesn't just heal your body, it heals your mind. Like, we have people coming in that are depressed, that are anxious. You get into a very peaceful state, you leave, your mood is better. If you want to pray or meditate in the EE system, you will go deeper than you could possibly imagine. Like, people who meditate and they come in here, like, it blows their mind how deep they can go spiritually. So that's some of the like overall benefits of what people can get from this. I can share a little bit of like some testimonies.
Sure,
if
absolutely.
The audience would like that. Okay. So we had a man the first week we were open who came from Slovakia. He didn't believe in this at all. He was very, very negative, didn't want to have anything to do with it, but his adult children brought him here. He had cancer for 18 years.
Wow.
I begged, he was supposed to go back to Slovakia like the next day. And I begged his children to get him to stay. I said, I will not charge him a cent. He can come here every day as long as he wants. Just get him to stay. Well, he did. He stayed another 5 or 6 weeks. And he came to the center every day, 5 days a week. We were open 6 days. He didn't realize he could come on Saturdays. He came for 2 hours, 5 days a week for the first like 4 weeks. And then the last week he came on Saturday. Sometimes he stayed 3 hours. The man, when he came in, he was hunched over, he was depressed, he was in pain, like in tremendous back pain. He had cancer in his kidney, and also I think throughout the rest of his body as well. They wanted to take his other kidney out. They had already taken one kidney.
Oh, geez.
No, which is another reason why I was like, don't let him go home.
Right.
After 1 week, he walked in tall. His mood was better. Like, we were all amazed because this, now mind you, we're only open like a week or two.
Right.
So this is like results that we're seeing for the first time. Within a few weeks, he, his children said that he couldn't even walk. He would shuffle his feet. He was in bed or in a chair all the time. He'd come to visit his children for the last time before they put him on dialysis. Well, within a few weeks, he was walking, he was standing up tall. Within 3 or 4 weeks, after 2 weeks, he started driving himself to the center.
Oh,
After a few weeks, like I think maybe 4 weeks, he walked 2 miles to his other daughter's house. And then we actually have a testimony of him on our channel, which is very small, Boundless Love and Light Healing channel. But we have, and also on our website, boundlessloveandlighthealing.com is the name of the website. If you go to the videos, we have a testimony of him. We have a picture of him in the back of a pickup truck, picking up heavy firewood and putting it down.
wow.
So this man, like, he was our miracle story, you know? And then, of course, he had to go back to Slovakia. And, you know, who knows how he's doing. I have to reach out to his children, actually. But that I shared that story not because of just the physical, but he was so depressed. And he was like, I was sitting in the lobby one day, talking to one of the members, and he came out to use the men's room, came out of the EE system room to use the men's room, which is in the hallway, and he had a smile on. And I said, Dusan, you're smiling. And he made this huge smile and he said, I'm happy. Like, I mean, that's why I came out of retirement.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I came out of retirement.
Wow.
So we have another man who had cancer. I mean, little things like anybody who has a cyst, go into the EE system, it'll go away. I don't know anybody that's come in with a cyst that it hasn't gone away, including my great nephew who was here 2 weeks ago on a Sunday, and in 2 hours, the cyst, it drained.
Wow.
I have one testimony from one of our other members who was struggling with cancer, and he sent me a personal text, made my day. Marie, I just came from my endocrinologist, and he said my blood test came back phenomenal. He had every other Wednesday night, I allow people with like terminal or serious or long-term cancer to sleep here for no charge. So if anybody in the audience knows anybody who's dealing with has been battling cancer, there you go. I don't charge them. My blood test came back phenomenal. My diabetes is totally in check. My kidney function is the best it has ever been. He's actually lowering some of the medication I am taking. In his words, I am doing outstanding. I am sure to attribute coming to Boundless Love and Light Wellness Center for sure. And that's from, and he let me feel the tumor in his kidney, and it had been shrinking.
Wow.
So, you know, for people who want to do the conventional chemotherapy and radiation, Dr. Michael, who created the technology, she said this will only enhance it. So this is only going to enhance the benefits of, you know, the radiation, the chemotherapy, the supplements you're taking, you know, whatever that might be.
Gotcha. So for those that don't know, what city are you in so that people can know how far you are away from either, you know, Ventnor or Atlantic City or New York, etc.?
Okay. So we're in Hillsborough, New Jersey, which is somewhat central. We're close to Princeton, Flemington, Bridgewater, Belmead, you know, Cherry Hill's not too far from us.
Right.
We have people coming from Philadelphia. I have another testimony I'd like to share. We had a few men come down from Canada. 6 hours. They came from Canada. This was, again, first week or two that we were open. 2 hours on a Friday, 2 hours on a Saturday. Man was paralyzed from his waist down for 36 years
Oh,
from a car accident. He calls me up a few days after he leaves, and he tells me that he was experiencing pain. And I thought, oh my gosh, the EE system made him feel pain? No. He had been paralyzed. He hadn't been able to feel anything in his lower body for 36 years. And he started feeling things. And a friend of his had gone to a psychic. And the psychic told his friend, your friend Daryl's nerves are regenerating.
Wow.
So he's come 2 other times. He slept here the other times. And at least the second time after he came, he called me again and let me know that once again, he was experiencing pain, feeling in his body. Now, they were going to open a center up in Canada, and I really hope that he's far along his way for that, because I would love to see this man walk again. I believe, of course, we know he can. We know he can. We know we're supposed to be divine, perfect health.
Right.
well, we
That's
met
what
a
we're
fellow.
supposed to be.
We met a fellow at the EE Systems facility that we went to, and this guy, due to MS, he was in a wheelchair with just no movement. He had the straw, and that was pretty much it. And after some regular visits, he started to feel tingling in his fingers. And the last time we talked to him, he could move his fingers. So yeah, this is a powerful tool.
Yeah, and and if people want to look, I mean, that's near the Parkland area, near Pacific Lutheran University in Washington State. But people can go on the EES system website and see where these are located. I wanted you to give people, not that we're getting close to the end of this or anything, but for the good news, can you tell people what you're offering for the month of February so they can check this out? So please, because I don't want to wait till the end for this news. So go ahead.
Yes, good. So there are too many people that are sick, right? I mean, who doesn't know somebody that doesn't have some kind of health condition? And very, 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 very few people know about this, right? Jason Shirka says, this is the revolution of healing. This is the way we're going to heal the world. I came out of retirement to help be a part of this movement to help heal the world. Just like you guys came out of unemployment to be a part of helping to wake up humanity, right? I know you called it retirement, but let's be real, right?
That was kind of a joke, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you can't really be a patriot and go work in a liberal city in a bar after you've made a lot of claims online. You don't really want to associate with that. So we've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, whether it's for music or film or whatever, but this is us putting it out there, saying, look, we're standing for humanity and children and everything else. So yes, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So the point is that nobody knows about it, right? So I decided to offer 17 days free from February 13th through March 1st. So from a Monday, 2.5 weeks, 17 days to the end of Wednesday. We're open from 10 in the morning till 8 at night. All those hours, Monday through Thursday, Friday, 10 in the morning till 6, Saturday, 9:30 to 3:30. Free.
So
my ideal would be that people come regularly during those 2 weeks, because you will feel better after one session. There's very, very, very few people that leave here that don't feel energy for days, a stronger constitution, a lighter mood, just overall better, right? Some people, their pain goes away right away. But if you really want to heal your body, right? If we're living in a third dimensional world, 24/7, 2 hours is not going to make our bodies completely healed. So my goal is that people come often during those 2.5 weeks so that they can see how their body will heal after continued use of this.
So would they make, what's the way that they do that? Do they make a reservation? What's the best way to contact,
I'm kind of old fashioned. So I like people to just call.
Okay,
So, if you'll put below the name of the business, the address and the phone number, just call the center and we will take down your information and we'll book you for the
Okay.
hours that that work for you.
now if there's someone out there that may not, because there's some people, someone comes to mind right now, I won't say her name, but they may not want to look through descriptions and all that stuff. Can you give your business phone number?
Oh, sure, of course.
Yeah, so
So,
just say that. So if someone's just so excited, there's like, I just want to call you, and they don't want to look through all that stuff.
okay, so it's Boundless Love and Light Healing Center. It's in Hillsborough, New Jersey. The phone number is 908-328-2112.
Okay.
908-328-2112.
Okay, so that really helps. And yeah, there was something else I want to say, and then we'll definitely put links below so they can see that. But yeah, let's keep going. I'm excited for people to be able to check this out, go for more than one day. I love that you're doing it for 17 days. That's a
Kind of
coincidence.
perfect. Yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna say something else, but go ahead, either one of you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had very limited contact with the system, so we haven't experienced it for multiple sessions, and I think that's a very good suggestion. Obviously, we both felt great for a period of time, but as far as the profundity of what this
Right.
thing is capable of, we can't speak to it. And I think giving people the opportunity to really vet this on their own is, that's a wonderful service you're providing.
Yeah, thank you. So the people who have gotten, like the people that I spoke about, aside from the man who was paralyzed, who was coming from Canada, he couldn't come regularly. The people that are battling cancer, they come regularly. And Dusan, who was from Slovakia, he came every day for 2 hours. Now, he was battling cancer for 18 years. I'm not saying people have to come every day. The prices, after the promotion, the prices are pretty reasonable. So, I'm trying to make the prices reasonable so everybody can afford to get here. So,
right. How many? Oh, and that's what I was going to say. If people see this video and they have friends or relatives in this area, just say, hey, please watch this, check it out. So how many people can fit in your, setup?
Good question. So we've had like 16 chairs open, but we can put up to 30 chairs in here.
Okay.
So, and I have 27 of the zero gravity chairs.
Okay, because our goal is to try and help you fill it.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll. I mean, it's. So I first went on with Mel Carmine 4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. So we do have quite a bit of the chairs filled, particularly on Saturday, the 2 Saturdays. However, there's still chairs left. And I'm okay if, people want to bring their own lounge chair. If we run out of the 27 or the 30, you can bring like a little lawn chair and put it in here. Cool. Because the other thing that's important that Dr. Michael, who created the technology, says is the more people are in here, the greater the healing.
Wow.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there's power in numbers.
Right.
So we're all in here with the intention to heal. Right.
That's beautiful.
When I was a psychotherapist, I did individual therapy, but I also did psychotherapy. Group psychotherapy. And the power of those 8 people or 5 people, however we're in the group, healing together was pretty big. I mean, the energy of this person healing helps this person to heal. In the psychotherapy, it was very evident. Like this person talking about their experience helped this person to remember something from their experience and to heal that experience. And then this person crying helped this person to get in touch with their feelings. The one thing as a psychotherapist, I knew it was really important for people to get those bottled up feelings out, because that's one of the reasons we're sick. All that repressed stuff that we have emotionally. and all those negative thoughts that we carry around with us help contribute to our bodies being sick. So that's one of the reasons why I liked to run the group, because it brought about a deeper healing a lot of times. And so here again, you know, there's up to 30 people that can be in this room every day.
So quick question. Let's say someone is coming from a few hours away during this time. They really want to test it out. Are there hotels? Is there things to do? Maybe guide people what their experience could be if they had a few days off or took a few days off and want to be immersed in this.
There's a Wyndham.
Yeah, I think.
Holiday Inn, Days Inn, about 10 minutes down the road, 8 to 10 minutes down the road, which is very reasonable for people.
Okay.
And then another 10 minutes in the opposite direction is the town of Princeton, which is a very quaint town. There's a lot of nice restaurants and stuff like that. So there's the Princeton University right on the main street there. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit to do around here.
Okay.
There's New Hope, Pennsylvania, which is like pretty iconic if you've ever been there. The little
Right.
quaint town. That's about 40 minutes from here. If somebody wanted to like spend a Sunday there after being here on a Saturday.
Very cool. One, you know, because there's a phrase that Scott's going to mention here, or a teaching, if you will, because a lot of the times, you know, we're you know, told about a problem, but then the mainstream narrative is that they have something to fix that problem, and so, you know, and this is kind of the opposite of that. So can you explain to the
I think he's talking about the Hegelian dialectic, but the idea that there's a problem, reaction, and solution, and if you're providing the solution, if you're selling the solution, and you're also providing the problem, you know, you've kind of got that market cornered. But our healthcare system kind of mimics that in many ways.
Well,
You know,
also
the advice we get on nutrition creates the problem for the big pharma solution. You know, for every pharmaceutical, there seems to be, you know, 8 or 9 side effects that require additional pharmaceuticals, and you see how it just snowballs. And it's a very unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in with our medical care in this country
and even
around the world.
Right. And I think that there's, you know, software and then virus and then an antivirus. We can see this with someone that created
Right
some of the,
about that. That was new to me, how Bill Gates created the virus, then he could sell the antivirus software. Like, whoa. Like, but isn't that what we've been living in our whole lives?
Well, and there's never any emphasis.
Path they've been living in, right?
Yeah, the idea of heal thyself. I mean, we're incredible. We're a pharmacopoeia. I mean, we can create just about every drug within our bodies. Our healing capacity is tremendous, even though that's been severely handicapped by the environment and so on that we're living in. But yeah, I think this kind of alternative healing is really pointing everybody in the right direction as a whole, as far as healthcare, an approach to healthcare.
This is spiritual healing.
Yes,
This
isn't
is
all
spiritual energy, and that's what's doing the healing, right? And like, you know, going back to what you were saying, there's been this world created for us where so many illnesses never existed, and all of a sudden they're now there. And well, let's come up with a good drug to take care of that. I mean, how many people have come up with the cure for cancer that have been killed? You know, like, if I can say that.
You can.
So, you know, I don't want to be like, I don't want us to get taken down, but this is not healing our bodies. This is giving our bodies the higher spiritual divine energy it needs for our divine self to heal itself, right? We need a higher spiritual energy. We need to come out of this third dimensional world that we're living in. And the truthers are saying, I've heard said that, we're going to be moving into the fifth dimension. Particularly in this new golden age, we will be moving into the fifth dimension. So I'm not telling anybody to go off their drugs. I'm still taking my thyroid medication, albeit I have lowered it a little bit. So, but I can't go off of it yet. So I'm not telling people to not do chemo. You do what we have a man who comes here, he will not do the chemo. That's his choice. I'm not gonna advise him either way. All I know is this is going to help you no matter what path you're going to take.
Yeah, I don't mean to demonize Western medicine entirely or whatnot. There's a lot of really well-intentioned people in every facet of healthcare. The problem is war and illness are among the largest profit centers in the world. And as long as there's a profit motive there, that's definitely something to be mindful of when we look for the best methods to treat what ails us.
Yeah, good point. And I'm not like a Bible person, but the Bible does say money is the root of all evil.
Or the love of money, I
right
think.
It's the intention.
Okay.
Yeah,
I told you I wasn't a Bible person.
not that we are either. I mean,
it's more interesting every day though, the way the world's going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when you read Revelations now, it means a whole lot more than it did a few years back, because we're watching it happen in front of us in many ways.
Are you familiar with a woman named Melissa Redpill?
I mean, the name is very familiar.
Okay, she runs Freedom Force. Yeah, well, she runs Freedom Force Battalion, and she goes into how the book of Revelations is actually, if people have fear about it, it's actually to get rid of the evil entities of the world, not us.
Yeah, it is the end of the world, but not for everybody.
For the
beginning of the world as well. Yeah, it really is the beginning. So yeah, she makes it very accessible. She really does.
And how it ties into astronomy and as well. But I think what's really interesting is, when this outbreak occurred, we can call it the pandemic, that they didn't go into, hey, let's eat right, let's build our immune systems. There was no coaching, no guidance on that. Immediately it's like, put a mask on. Okay, well, why are we born without masks, right? Because viruses don't go through, they would go through a mask, much like fly through a chain link fence. And then it's immediately get a man-made jab, if you will. And it's like, where is the let's take care of ourselves, let's build our immunity, let's
let's close down the gyms.
Yeah, close down the gyms,
close down the churches, but let's leave the bars open, let's leave the marijuana dispensaries open,
the liquor stores open.
Yeah. I mean,
Amazon and eBay, they can all flourish, yet the local pizza joint, they can't be open. And there is free will, there's choice. And so if someone doesn't feel good going into a local pizza joint, and you can't blame the owner for staying open, if we want that choice. So they can still get to go food. I'm not going to promote any company on this show for that, but it's like, come on, we're grown-ups here, we can make our own choices. So if people just look back and unpeel the layers of what's happened to us, it's pretty obvious. You just have to be willing to maybe admit that your first interpretation and fear of what was going on wasn't correct, that the powers that be put it out there for you to elicit a response and then to have a solution. If they can get past that and not freak out that their friends may have been right about some of this stuff. And we're not saying this like we're right and they're wrong. We're here to help humanity awaken. And we've been put through the ringer for nearly 3 years for doing this, but I don't care. What do we stand for? You and I and Scott and plenty of others, we stand for humanity. We stand for children. We stand for free speech and choice. What are our motivations? Well, no matter what, it's not here to make money, like, you're opening up this center because of your empathy and wanting to make a difference. So it's time to look at people's true motivations as to why they're doing what they're doing. And if they look at pharma and the medical system, look where the profits are. Let's look at, if you get someone into a hospital and they're diagnosed with, the COVID, how that fits into the monetary system, how much money is paid out for diagnosing that person with that. So it's time for people to look and read between the lines and not just believe the mainstream media. And that's why we have conversations like this.
We've bought into the lies, the food advertisements, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been, well, I'll speak for myself. I gradually, I realized I went organic many years ago, but even though I went organic, I didn't know that there was evil behind why the pesticides were going on the food, that it was very deliberate and intentional. But one of the things I think we are doing, truthers, and also like now the community of people that are opening up the EE system centers as well, is we're here to empower. We're here to wake up, but we're here to say, take back your power. You are divine, perfect divine health. You are perfect divine love. You are strong. You are intelligent. You are wise. Like you're every positive attribute, that's who we are. Our parents have been brainwashed, their parents were brainwashed, and all this stuff got passed on down generation to generation. And I don't mean just brainwashing. I mean, like, okay, why are there wars? Okay, well, yeah, okay, they make money. Sure, they make money. But what is the energy that comes off of a war? Fear, anger, hate, violence,
Division.
Evil, right? So all of this, every war, I mean, I'm not going to say every war, but almost every war is been solely for the purpose of bringing our vibration down. How can we, including myself, live in a state of pure love if we're living in the midst of this person being killed in Philadelphia and that person being in the mass murders and, the wars and all of the evil that is ruling our food? Again, there's good people in the medical profession. I know a lot of lovely, lovely doctors and dentists, but all of that evil that's being perpetrated on us energetically, right? So how do we live in this third dimensional world? And it's third dimensional because we've fallen, because we've forgotten who we are as divine beings, right? So how do we live in pure divine health in this case, in the case of the EE system? How do we live in pure divine health when all around us is darkness? We want light, which I guess I was supposed to say that. I said earlier that I prayed for a name to the business and I got boundless love and light healing. And the more time went on, the more I realized why I was given that name. And every morning I have a commitment, whether I feel like it or not. I sit up in my bedroom before I do anything else. I sit up in my bedroom. I connect with God, source, whoever your God is. I'm not, a religious being. I connect with spirit. I call the love and the light of God into this room, and I envision it into this room and also into my waiting room and into every person that sits in these chairs. Every morning, it's my commitment. And I call in we call them in Saint Germain, we say the beloved host, of healing angels. And I call them in. And I ask them to be in here and to be with everybody. And then my prayer is, this is kind of personal, but I'm going to say it. Help us to remember who we are before the world began. So before the world began, who were we? Who are we before the world began? Well, Catholics and Christians say we're children of God. We're made in God's image. The only thing is, God's not a physical being. God is spirit. God is love. God is light. David Hawkins, the man that I mentioned earlier, who was, in my mind, he was an enlightened being. He has this YouTube video. I can't remember the name of it, but I can get it to you if you want to put it below.
Absolutely.
And he speaks about how he went into, he ascended, basically. He went and met God, if you will, met spirit. And he said he felt tremendous fear. And then pure love and light, unimaginable. Like and when you watch his little video on it, you feel it. You know what he's saying. Just like when you watch The Revolution of Healing with Jason Strickle, you know this EE system is something. More importantly, you watch that video with David Hawkins, and you know he saw God. But God was not a physical being. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a religious thing. But God is not a physical being. He's loving light. He's spirit. That's who we are. So for me, when I opened up this center, it wasn't because, I wanted to come out of retirement and work again. It was because I felt God telling me that this was the next spiritual path that I was supposed to take. And I was like, but I just started studying Saint Germain, and I'm not going to have the time and the energy to study Saint Germain if I open up a business. But I'm incorporating through my prayers and through what we call my decrees. I am incorporating the love and the light of God in here. And my prayer is that everybody walks in here has perfect divine health. And my prayer is that everybody that walks in here knows who they are as love and as light. And let's make this earth what we're supposed to be. Let's create heaven on earth, And I know it's not happening overnight, but you're a little piece of it happening. And the EE system is a little piece of it happening. And everybody's prayers is a little piece of bringing this to pass. I started this by saying, we're here to empower, right? Like, I want everybody to know who we are. That's our power.
So well said.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless right now, actually. Wow, that beautiful. Is there anything else you want the folks to know that you feel you've left out? I mean, you kind of laid it all on the table for everybody. It's and thank you for doing that, because our vulnerability is what empowers other people to be themselves and to rise up as well. I mean, we're all just people, but we're aligning with each other. We're locking arms. You're a little piece over in New Jersey, we're over here in the Northwest, but if, our goal is to help other people talk and start their shows and start their healing centers. And a lot of people don't even know this exists. So share this information. We're not a bunch of Bible thumpers. We're, filmmakers, musicians, healers. You say your background is psychotherapy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're bringing a little bit of all of this, but with good intentions to help people wake up and understand our world. Because it's interesting. Scott's been a teacher. I've been an outdoor guide, and something's kept me away from wanting to really go further in the education system, if you will. There's not a whole lot of classes that I resonated with or wanted to teach, but when it comes to this stuff, and with the vastness of topics, but all aligned to assist in in helping people understand themselves in our world. What a great platform. And you know, I get to do it with a buddy and then meet people like you. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. So thank you for being a piece of that puzzle. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. And it was such a pleasure to talk to you, gentlemen, to get to know you.
Yeah, you as well. So anything you want to end on?
No, just know that you're meant to be perfect divine health. That's what I want to say to the audience. We're supposed to be perfect divine health. Just know that and go for it. Now just go get it.
Very beautiful.
What a perfect message. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you for that. We'll put the links below. You just hit description if you know we're mainly on Rumble. And one more time where people can find you. We'll just close with that just because you know it's a good idea.
Okay, it's Boundless Love and Light Healing Center. We are in Hillsborough, New Jersey. The website is boundlessloveandlighthealing.com. So we have a lot of videos on there. If you want to go, you can get the directions if you go on there. And the phone number is 908-328-2112, New Jersey.
All right. Well, thank you, Maria. Stick around. We'll talk to you a little bit afterwards. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully this inspired something positive within you. So take care.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Another question is, in a nutshell, if you were to give an elevator pitch, if you will, how does, I guess it's the combination of the Trinity pack, how does that rid the body of the jab? What's the best way to explain that to the layperson, if you will?
Control Alt Delete. We're a computer, right? So if your computer has a bug, what do? You shut it down, you let it reset, and then it'll reboot. It goes on. And you can't reset your computer, right? Control Alt Delete. Oh, that too is a Trinity. Makes you think, right? But so delete is what Clean Slate is doing for grabbing onto and removing. Control is what Restore is doing, you know, take care of the gut. And then the Alt button is basically what 0N's doing to, you know, change neurotransmission. But if you want to reset your computer, you can't just hold down the control button and think it's going to work. You have to hit all three of them. So, and when you do that, then, oh yeah, then you get the body to reset.